All right, what up? I'm about to do another story time. So another middle school one, and it happened in the seventh grade. It was the time I got in trouble for something I didn't do, like, and we thought that the people next to us that were actually doing the trouble were cool with it, and they were cool with it. They were playing games. They were playing games, and apparently the teacher believed it. I don't know how we thought she would believe it, but she believed them, or how she would not think that she would not believe them, but she believed them. And yeah, so what happened, I was in the art class, and the thing about art classes is that there's tables with people on them, and there's chairs, and there's like a table with four people, so you're with four people when you sit down. So it's me and three other cool homies of mine, and there's a table next to us of basically what you think of hood rat ass kids. I'm talking, you know, the whole Pokédex worth of like any hood rat, probably weed smoking in the bathroom kids, you got that. So picture that. And in our class was a sub. Our class was like newer and it didn't really have an official teacher yet. So there was always a sub and it was a different person every day. This time it was some lady and they were just doing too much. The entire class, they were doing too much. Like, doing too much is not even the right word, what they were doing. So already off to a bad start. I already know they're gonna, and they were messing with us even from day one. But this time they took it. They didn't really take it too far, but I'm pretty sure they got off. They got off lightly. At the end of the day, when all was said and done with this story, they did not get in trouble at all for what they did, even though we told them. But I'm gonna get to that. So we're in the class. It's some lady that's our sub, right? And these kids, first of all, they start off the class by grabbing their work, grabbing their homework. It was like to draw that that painting with like the night sky and the castle. I forgot the name of it. I've seen it a lot, but it was to draw that, not draw it, but color it. It was like a little color sheet. They needed to grade something, and these kids grabbed the homework, the paper, right? They grabbed a lighter and they lit the paper on fire, and the whole classroom smelled like burnt paper. If you know what burnt paper smells like, that's what you get, like burnt wood. It smelled like burnt paper. The entire classroom stunk, and I was next to them, so I got a good stench of that. Now, what they did that pushed the teacher off the rails was they grabbed a marker, a Crayola marker, right? Ink. They took off the cap and they threw it across the room towards the teacher. And it actually hit the teacher in the arm. She didn't say nothing about it until like a whole 2 minutes after, which is weird. But they threw it across the room. Me and my friends at the table, we thought it was hilarious, but the teacher came over and be like, who did that? Look. And then she like showed that like the ink of the pen, another pen, the marker hit her arm, and like, who did that? And then the hood rat kids were pointing at us, and we were like joking, being like, yeah, we did it totally. And then everyone was like, yeah, we did it, because we thought she was not that dumb to see just looking at them. I'm not gonna necessarily say they were black. There was one Hispanic kid and there was like another white kid with him, but they were all involved. They were all involved with this. Basically, they all do some stupid shit every day. So what happened? So she believed their side. They were like blaming it on us, and she actually believed them. So she called the front office. She called the admins. They came down. Um, you know, I don't have nothing against the admins, but what they did was kind of over the top. But I can kind of understand, because it's like you can't really trust no one. If we said we did it and now we're like, oh, we didn't do it, then it's difficult to believe. They probably think we're lying, but it's stupid either way, because it's like we thought it was all fun and games. So she called the admin. They came down. She was like, oh yeah, they threw the marker at me. And then the admin dude escorted us four at the table out, not the hood rat kids, to the hallway. They questioned us and we were spilling tea. We were like, oh no, it was not us. It's a big misunderstanding. They did it. We did not do nothing. And they believed them still. And they were like, well, we don't know. And we're going to still probably punish you either way. So they didn't even tell us to get our stuff. They didn't even say, oh yeah, guys, go get your stuff. They took us straight to the library, which was down the hallway. They took us to the library, quiet library. And one of them had like an admin working in the middle table, and he sat us four separate from each other and made us quietly do like coloring stuff without our stuff. Like if we got our stuff and left, then it would show that we're basically getting in trouble. But nah, we literally went without stuff to the library and spent literally the rest of class there. The bell rang, the bell rang, and we were so late we had to get passes in order to go to class because the bell rang and rang again. Like that's how long we were in that library. And we saw the kids that were doing it walking about the school like they did nothing wrong. So it showed that they didn't know who to believe. We said it was us. I mean, it was kind of our fault. Actually, yeah, it was 100% our fault. I don't know why we would say, oh, yeah, we did that. We did what they did, and I thought the teacher could see based on looking at them that, which one would do it. But it kind of makes sense. So, yeah, me and my friend, we were talking about how stupid the situation was. We had to get passes to go to the last class of the day, which is the most hyper era for any middle schoolers, is the last few classes of the day. We had to go back to the class, get our stuff, and we had to, escort ourselves back to class, empty hallway because we were late. We had our pass in our hand, and that was basically it. So it was seventh grade, and that was 2020, and then this thing called the pandemic hit, and then no more funny stories. I guarantee you, I would have had way more stories because that class was one of the worst classes ever. Bad kids. Oh my God, just some bad kids in that class. If school went on a little longer and the pandemic didn't happen, then most likely I would have way more stories to talk about. But I love seventh grade. People were hating on seventh grade. I'm like, seventh grade is for me was fun because we were just kids having fun, and I love that. But yeah, that was the time I got. Oh wait, let me see. Did I get everything? So they did it. They blamed it on us. They called the admin. The admin talked to us, questioned us, and they still believed them, and they took us to the office. I mean, not the office, the library. They punished us, basically. Sat separately, and made us do work quietly, for the remainder of the class without even our stuff. And we left late and everything like we were actually in trouble. I mean, none of us got written up or anything, but that sub probably does not like us no more. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's the time I got in trouble for something I didn't do. So